Hello, and thank you for listening to Gettin' Hard in Nate's Backyard. On this episode of the podcast, Nancy and I sit down with my good buddy, Hunter Collins. Hunter Collins is a touring stand-up comedian, originally from Montreal and now residing out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He is host of Third Class Thursdays at Vapor Central in Toronto. He's currently on a string of Western Canadian tour dates. He just put out a new album called Canadian, and you can check out his new album and all his other awesome stuff, videos and whatnot, at huntercomedy.com. As always, thanks for listening. All right, welcome to the podcast. I'd like to welcome my friend Hunter Collins. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. How are you? I'm trying to manufacture spontaneity here. We've had trouble starting this one up.
Oh, boy. God damn, computers crashing. Everything's falling down around us. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nate. Hi, Hunter.
Nancy, good to see you.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and thanks for being on the podcast, you guys.
Hey, sorry I didn't bring any pants and I'm wearing this crazy sombrero, but...
Yeah, it's what, is it minus 17 or something?
Yeah,
right
just
now?
I had to rush out of the house.
The sombrero and the Mexican blanket is good looking.
Yeah, don't mind the syphilis scarring.
With that being said,
smell.
This podcast is brought to you by righthookmics.com. Go to Right Hook Mics and buy their shit. It's fucking awesome.
Smell that fresh mic.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's good. And this podcast is also brought to you by Big Nate Productions and Calgary Metal Fest. Stay tuned for announcements soon. Thanks for listening, everybody. So, Hunter Collins, you are a stand-up comedian who's on tour right now.
Yep.
How long you been doing that, and where are you from? And
I've been a professional, I suppose, for 5 years, and I live in Toronto. I'm from Montreal originally, and
Cool.
just doing a bit of a Western Canada tour
Cool.
here. Started off in Yellowknife, and then dipped down to Calgary, and I'll be in Edmonton, and finally in Drumheller.
Yeah.
I found out you have to pronounce it's the accents on hell. Drumheller. Right?
Yeah.
You don't say Drumheller.
It's so funny. You don't detect, like...
Drumheller.
Unless you're not from there. You're like, to me, I'm like, accent.
Drumheller?
Yeah. Well, I got called out for pronouncing medicine hat wrong. Apparently, it's not medicine hat. It's medicine hat.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. We got to stop these social justice warriors.
Yeah, I know. I just started calling it da hat.
Get gangster like that.
Yeah. Flash some gang signs.
So where can people check out your tour dates? Do you have a website?
Yeah, my website's huntercomedy.com.
Fucking A.
And I got a cool little Twitter, Hunter_Collins. My Instagram game is on point. Hunter Comedy.
Hunter Comedy. Instagram.
Yeah, so it's got some dates. I got some videos on there. Some links to my albums on my site and stuff.
Yeah, are you touring in support of the album? Or is this... Have you done that already?
I don't know how many comedians do tour to support albums like bands would, but I released an album at the end of summer, midsummer, a bilingual comedy album called Canadian, Q-U-E, Canadian, just to represent my, the duality of my
existence.
Lack of nationalism. Yeah.
Oh, lack of nationalism. Nice. Yeah, you're both.
Yeah,
You
or
can
none.
Or
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it cancels itself out.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always felt like
because you
didn't fit in.
Grew up English, like you were an Anglophone background or upbringing.
Yep.
And then, but you are fully bilingual and speak French, like you couldn't even tell.
Right? Yeah, I'm undercover, man. I went to French school. Grew up in a French neighborhood. Played for French hockey teams, and
wild.
Yeah, and just I'm grateful I speak both languages. It's fun. I wish I had French people in my midst when I'm in like non-French speaking places, so that I could just shit talk people. You know, like, look at that guy's dumbass mustache.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Instead, I have to whisper.
Kind of like how everybody else that speaks another language does when they're here.
Yes, exactly.
You just know.
They're talking about us, aren't they?
It's so freeing. But yeah, I moved to Toronto when I was 19 to go to Humber College and study comedy at the program there. And
Wow.
yeah, and never
So
looked back.
how long was that?
It's 2 years, and it is like an accredited program. It's not like going to take a salsa lesson or something like that. I'm salsa certified.
I'm a calypso dancer now.
Calypso certified.
I knew it.
And it was great. It was like every day performing for peers and being performed for by peers, you know. So it was a real good 2 year intensive. And by the time I was 21, you know, I had maybe a leg up on the other 21-year-olds who were just getting into it.
Yeah, nice.
But the classes range from like sketch, stand up, improv, physical comedy. There's even like clown, script writing, and it's really rewarding. Got a lot done there.
Yeah, cool. So, kind of before we talk about your past stuff that you've done, you do. What's the venue you work out of in Toronto? Can you tell everybody about
hell
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a weekly show at Vapor Central in Toronto on Thursday nights. It's called Third Class Thursdays, which was the name of my old sketch troupe, and we called it that just because, we just prided ourselves on our gallows humor and our gutter humor, and so people who come to the show shouldn't expect a tuxedo affair.
Yeah, or like hippie comedy the whole night or something.
No, expect just a lot of jizz and having sex with abortions and all that stuff.
Whoa.
And it's a weed friendly venue. So you bring your own weed, and we supply vaporizers. You can rent bongs. Pipes, got all kinds of munchies and stuff.
Unreal.
Yeah, it is unreal. But people often buy the munchies like they're making a drug deal because they're used to being on their toes and shit, and they like sneak up to the person at the counter selling them and be like, "Yo, can I get like a half quarter of Swedish berries, man?" And they're all like, "Just leave it in a bag over there. I'll come." It's like, you can just ask for munchies there. But it'll be 7 years next month that we are running the Thursday show.
Cool.
And we got comedy there Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, and Monday we have comedy podcasts, and the recent winner of Big Brother Canada is running a Monday podcast there as well.
Wow.
And and it's been really cool. It's been a real good way to sort of develop material, because a lot of people think that performing for potheads is easy.
Right.
They're like, "Oh, what an easy laugh that must be," but these people are literally sedated. It's like the hardest crowd in the world.
Well, and I find, I mean, I don't smoke pot, but if I was a person that did, one thing that would really bother me would be the short attention span.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like that's what makes it, it's like off to the other thought, on to the next one,
right,
kind of thing.
And we do feel that, and that's what I think pushes comedians who know what it's like to perform there to sort of be real punchy.
Right.
And I think it forces you to make a lot of eye contact and constantly recaptivate people's attention.
You got to really be on it, because they're not.
Yes. Yeah, you have to control the situation. Yeah. And like I've seen people pass out mid-laugh before, but it makes you, because they're sedated, it makes you work that much harder and sort of really narrow your set down to just the jokes that work quicker than if you have an easier laughing crowd. So it's a really good place to develop your club act. Like if you get a little titter at Vapor Central, that's like a bona fide club laugh. And if you get like a big audible, full, like from the front to the back of the room crack up, like you got some real gold there.
Fuck, wow. That's how you guys practice, eh? You have to go out and get on stage.
Yes, all the time.
Like you can sit there in front of your mirror and make yourself laugh all the time, but until you fucking
which I do just by standing naked.
In your sombrero.
They don't let you do that. They don't let you just stand on stage naked with your flaccid dick hanging out.
No, they don't. As much as you protest, this is art.
Yeah,
they're like, that's a gross half-eaten salami. That's not art.
So you've been out here for a bit. Did you hear? Sorry to go off topic for a second, but did you hear that, like AGLC, which is Alberta Gaming and Liquor, they're like basically the police of all the bars. They're like the fun police.
Oh, okay.
Like the Gaming and Liquor Commission.
Right.
So it's like anytime you're out having a good time, it's all under their jurisdiction.
What's next? The Laughter and Hookers Commission?
So they were in this like pissing contest with the burlesque chicks forever.
Okay.
About their art.
Yeah.
And
I could imagine.
The other day, they just
Protestants
ruled that it's okay to show nipples.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
just
kind
in the
of
news.
a fucking...
I didn't hear about
big
it,
deal.
but I kind of tasted it in the air. I was like, there's a bit of a nipply,
Tits
what
out,
have you?
tits out.
That's great news. Free the nipple,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, totally. It's funny because we had the NDP government just come in here and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny that that's one of the first things to change. So. Yeah, thank you, Rachel Notley.
Yeah, man, that should be the NDP's slogan. The NDP, show us your tits.
You just made every third Thursday a little bit more exciting for me.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow night, burlesque show at Distortion. Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, that's awesome. That means I can go on stage and show my third nipple. Some people say it's a genital wart, but I insist it's just a nipple. A big oozing nipple. I'm lactating from my dick nipple.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not like the other girls.
So how is... you said you went to Yellowknife before Calgary. How was
Yeah. Look, I'm pretty sure we talked about this in the ill-fated podcast we
I
tried
can't
to
remember
record.
that one.
But it was I was really hoping I would experience like some kind of deep cultural gains, you know, like that I don't know what I was expecting. I thought it would be a lot more different, but it was just like, quite frankly, any other small city in Canada. Like it was like Medicine Hat. Sorry, it was like Medicine Hat. It was like Welland, Ontario, and not. I don't mean that as a disrespect to Yellowknife, but it was just, you know, they got an A&W, and what I will say is maybe they have like twice the First Nations as a lot of cities I've been to, but like 8 times the seal fur apparel as well.
Yeah.
I saw like a lady straight up in like the dry cleaners, just like doing like Jesus Christ pose with a tailor, like measuring the fucking big seal vest on her and stuff. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But that was that and the giant ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ravens are huge.
Yeah.
I saw a raven steal a guy's kettlebell.
Zing.
Yeah, and then the raven went, yo, you even lift, bro?
Yeah, the Ravens are like fucking CF-18s out there.
Yeah, roided out.
Bombers they're like eagles, small eagles.
Yeah, I was carrying some like French fries home with them, like fish and chips, and like this raven kept flying up in front of me and landing, and then waiting for me to pass him, and then would come fly in front of me again and be like, buddy, I want your fries.
Yeah, you are getting jacked.
Yeah.
This is a stick up. Yeah, my buddy drove before there was that stupid Ice Road Trucker show, and they wrecked it for everybody up there.
Okay.
My buddy drove on the fucking Ice Road up there, and you're only allowed to go like 25 miles an hour tops.
Whoa.
And so you're driving, 40K an hour for fucking 12 hours a day. And he's like, same thing. The Raven would do, he started giving it crackers, putting them on the windshield, and the fucking guy, and now you're fucked, right?
They're smart.
He's your buddy now. And he's
Ravens
fly ahead of the truck and then land on the hood. And
yeah.
Crazy.
They're as smart as like a 4-year-old kid, or like an 18-year-old with Down syndrome.
Oh, right. Can we not go that far down this one like we did on the last? So for people that don't, we didn't address it in this incantation of the podcast, but we had we came here after the bar one night and did a podcast, and I think it was fucking hilarious.
But Nancy seems to think we, quote, smoke too much PCP.
Yeah. No.
You're allowed to
As
rage
the
on the
producer,
podcast.
a certain quality.
Yeah, the pin got pulled. So
Yeah.
Does Nancy work for the ALGC nipple Nazis?
Not.
So we're redoing it, ebba-dibba-da. And then we just tried to redo it and the computer crashed. So this is technically the third time.
Yeah.
But what's also hilarious, I think you're the first, and I could be wrong, but I think you're the first guest that's been on twice.
Nice. What an honor.
Yeah, because you were on with Jason Rouse. Before.
Yeah.
What was that, like 13 or something? Podcast 13
Oh,
or some shit?
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Back in April.
Back in April, yeah. And yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that's how, so everybody knows, that's how I know Hunters, through Jason. And
But Yellowknife was cool. The shows were fantastic. I've never been treated that well before. Like,
Cool.
ground transpo, flights, hotel, food, booze.
yeah, see, that's what I've always thought is really interesting about those northern gigs. Like even Fort McMurray and stuff. I've heard they just, you're on the company jet and like which sounds like a big deal, but for those guys it's not. It's cheaper for them to run a company jet flying guys back and forth than to be putting them on an airline or something. So, and then all the transport, and they hook you up. They pay you decent, I'm sure.
Hell yeah.
And then fucking feed you well and stuff.
Love that shit. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I was hoping to have like a fucking raven steak or something like that. But, I was there eating fish and chips. And
sounded like you almost got into a knife battle.
Yeah, I slept
fish
with a
and chips
raven.
and Yellowknife, eh? Was it good?
It was very good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it's from one of the owner's bars. What was it called? Forget.
That's one of those places that probably, if you were like, do you have a bottle of water? They would just look at you like, I'll fucking stab you in the neck. Right? Like, that's
melt some snow.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Go eat the snow off that moose's ass.
It's pristine. This is Yellowknife. This isn't your hippie queer downtown water.
Oh, that's cool. So then, so you didn't drive, you flew. How long was the flight to?
Man, from Edmonton, it's a 2-hour flight, but I hear it's a 16-hour drive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how zigzaggy and shitty is that drive, man?
I'm sure that highway is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. 2 hours by plane, 16 by car.
Yeah.
Edmonton to Yellowknife.
Yeah, I find it's usually a day of driving for an hour flying.
Really?
Yeah.
A day of driving for an hour.
Like when I go
to
down
north, maybe.
Well, no, even like when I go down, my family lives by Portland, which is like, it's like 16, 17 hours from here. But now, especially driving.
Yeah.
So now, especially that I have a kid, it's like we did it once together, my wife and I, where we bombed it and got there at like 4 a.m. But you can't do that with it. It's 2 days. It's 2-day drive. It's 8 hours twice, basically, or 8 one day.
But like Montreal, Toronto is like 7 hours, 5.5 even, but it's like an hour and a half flight. Mm-hmm. It's so weird how it all works out.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
A lot of it's you guys got to drive through the goddamn mountains, though. Mm-hmm. And you go through Mordor and shit.
Yeah, the most dangerous stretch of highway. Yeah, especially right now, all wintry, it's all fucked.
Yeah, I remember driving through the Rockies, taking pictures of the mountains like a tourist, and then like realizing like these pictures are all caca, and just like, what are you doing? Just enjoy the mountains.
Yeah, quit looking at it through your phone.
Yeah, pathetic.
I hate my iPhone for taking pictures. It's the worst. I swear there's a conspiracy to make them shit. Anyways, whatever. Cool. So, what's left on the tour?
Edmonton and Drumheller are left.
And Drumheller.
I'm looking forward to this Drumheller, man. I hear it's like dinosaur ghost town.
Yeah, you basically, you're driving down the prairies and fucking the earth cracks open, and that's Drumheller. You drive down back
into the land of the lost.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Are there ghost dinosaurs? I heard there's
There's
ghost
real
dinosaurs.
They have the Royal Tyrrell Museum out there, which is like a huge.
Nancy tells me I gotta check it out.
Oh, gotta check that out.
I haven't even been there yet. We gotta go
Really?
there with the kid.
Shit, yeah.
What's the hook on the museum?
It's got, dude. They've been finding dinosaurs there for fucking 100 years, and that's where they put them.
Whoa.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot to see in there.
Any of the dinosaurs alive?
No, just those ravens in Yellowknife. Those are the living dinosaurs.
I'm a huge dinosaur
guy. Chickens are dinosaurs too, and they're goddamn
tasty
Could you imagine
dinosaurs.
eating a dinosaur egg? That'd be amazing.
I could.
Be like an
One
ostrich
egg, feed the family.
One time I went down on a 80-year-old chick who was on a rag. Does that count as eating dinosaur eggs?
80. Wow, that's up there.
She's an anomaly.
Yeah. Wow. She had 97 children.
So you were in Calgary for like 10 days here now, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, how's Calgary been treating you?
I really love this city. And I don't feel like I don't have to placate you guys or pander to Calgary, because Calgary, quite frankly, is the best city in the world.
Whoa, settle down.
No, I really have a great time here. That's why I stay here instead of go to Edmonton, because fuck that twice.
Yeah, there's a certain weird little invisible fence you drive over when you're going to Edmonton that just freaks me out.
Yeah, I mean, just doing comedy, just references going over people's heads. Like, people never heard of the BBC Planet Earth documentaries, for example, out there.
Really?
And just stuff like that, you know? It's like, no, what is that, a show about something with 4 wheels? I ain't watching it.
Well, I'll make sure I put out this podcast after you perform there so you don't get fucking stabbed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some guys in the alley, they're bleeding out. We don't know why.
We play this casino. It's in the north end of town, and I don't know. The shows are fun, but it's like, I don't know. You got a mall.
Yeah, casino gigs seem like they would be
little
They
rougher.
could be, but the Calgary gigs are in a casino, and it's fantastic.
But it's funny because I don't know if it's because of the building they have, but it's like separate.
Yes,
from the casino. Like,
right. You don't have to walk past a million pirate, like one-armed bandits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. It's like bling, 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 and then you walk into the fucking comedy club. You know, like, it's not. You have to. You're. Like, I've gone there. I've only gone there. I've never. Well, I gambled there once, but like, I've been there probably a dozen times to see comedy.
Right, right,
and gambled once. So.
Right. Yeah, it can be tough in the casinos. Like, I play a gig at this casino in London that's off the beaten path, and it's like, first of all, it's a casino that's in the middle of nowhere. So strike one. Strike two, this place has like 6 rows, like spanning the whole length of the parking lot that are handicap parking spots, and they're all filled. And I'm like, that means that there's at least 300 handicapped people, and that's not counting the carpoolers. Like, in this fucking place, these people are gonna hate the fact that some able-bodied guy is screaming about jizz on stage for the next 45 minutes. Like,
bunch of seniors.
Yeah, seniors, and I don't know, people with no eyes. I don't know what they're. I guess they wouldn't be driving, but like, yes, that makes for a shite show.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny the other night.
Look at old fancy 2 legs up there, and his perfectly functioning lungs.
Things got pretty feisty at your show here the other night.
Yeah, I was just going to say that was funny when we went to see what was that, last Wednesday or something?
Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
And God damn it, that couldn't have happened any worse. Like, I sit down, I showed up a little late, like about 10 minutes before you went on, and the fucking girl sitting in front of us, man, like, something happened with fucking oxygen deprivation with her at some fucking point. Like, okay, you're having the thoughts, you don't need to verbalize
She's
them.
just
you know,
nattering
like, it was just
on.
like, and she had Buddy had bought her a full bottle of wine. Ooh. And she was about 2/3 of the way down, and I was like, holy fuck. I mean, either can you BYOB there? I don't think you can.
No.
Yeah, so she fucking drank that whole goddamn bottle.
That guy BYA his own bitch.
Yeah.
And
I really flubbed that one.
But yeah, that was funny. She was like, you started ripping on her. And
she
then
got upset
up, like,
about
she was
something.
Fucking do something about it.
Yeah, stage stormer.
Well, she stood up and she was yelling at you, and then she rushed the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was she yelling? She's like, it was just like, what? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, she sounded like an ostrich choking on something. It was insane what the stuff coming out of her mouth.
Can't believe it.
But yeah, she kept interrupting the MC, and I try to watch the show if I'm middling or doing or closing the show, just to sort of know who the characters in the room are.
Right.
And she stood out as, maybe there's like in the front row there's the dentist, and then somewhere in the back there's the guy from Tallahassee, and then but she was just the disruptive shithead.
Yeah.
And as soon as she piped up, I was like, "You're done, lady. You gotta. Someone's got to teach you to stop."
Mm-hmm.
Well, and fuck, you really cut her up too, which is fucking awesome to see, because people need that shit. And that, to me, that's, you work so long, or a guy would work so long on a comedy routine, but it's that, like, holy fuck, this is an opportunity to be very funny and to take it, and you killed it on that.
Hey, thanks, Nate. Well, that's the thing that I found really earns, like, the respect of the men, so to speak.
Good job cutting that bitch up.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, he's not just a rehearsed clown. He's totally. Something of a cultured weapon. And And that's whenever that stuff happens, that's always the shit that people come up to you about after the show. Like, oh man, when you told that chick to take our $8 haircut back to her seat, I'm gonna use that
$8 haircut. Yeah, fuck yeah.
So they love that stuff, and
that
I think
fucking
it's 'cause,
sat her down.
Yeah,
because it was like, oh,
my haircut. Every shriek coming out of her mouth is making her little flimsy bangs flip flop around. Oh man, those teased blonde bangs. Oh
yeah. Well, and after being
satisfying.
escorted back to her seat by the staff, it was like she kind of shut up after that.
Yeah, it was like if she wouldn't have paid like $100, or if that guy wouldn't have paid like $150 for that bottle of wine, she would have been fucking out.
Right.
You know, like,
well, the other thing
who
is,
knows? I don't know.
She sat down and she enjoyed the rest of the show. It's not like I went out of my way to shit on her after that. You know, it's like I've said my piece, and I'm fairly confident you're going to be quiet from here on out.
So how many times does that happen out of 100?
Probably. I mean, as bad as her.
Well, no, maybe. Just in general, where there's somebody that won't shut the fuck up, or they're
probably once every other weekend.
Oh yeah, so like 1 out of 3 or 4.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so there's lots of pieces of shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it happens enough that it isn't rare, and that I'm equipped to deal with that when it happens. But most of the time, it's easy breezy. You go up and do your set. You might have someone who's like, yeah, that happened to my uncle one time. You know, if there's something you do and you just, it doesn't matter. You don't have to like take them down a notch. They weren't
totally
disruptive, but she was chiming in on everything.
Oh yeah. It was like I say, it was like you don't have to speak every thought you have. Like that's what it sounded like. Every single thing she thought.
She was repeating what you guys were saying. Yeah.
Repeating that's what she'd do. Oh my god! You know,
she had that voice.
Cheers, oh my god!
Yeah.
She's like, shut the fuck up.
Oh god, it's so weird.
Yeah, exactly like that.
That voice.
We were writing on this piece of paper. It was like it started out with "I want to hit her," and we were like passing it around the table. And it just got worse and worse and worse.
Well, I was getting ready to shush her.
Oh no!
I was getting ready to
for Nance to
shush her. That was a fucking problem.
But, I mean, how often do you have someone rush the stage like that? You know,
and her boyfriend was trying, or whatever he was trying to shush her. Like he's saying, like, shut the fuck up.
After the show, he had no words for me, but he had this look on his face of like sheer commiseration and apology. He was just put his hands up and shook his head and kind of smirked, like, I don't know.
Guys got to get blown, man.
Yeah, hey, she's easy. I mean. But no, I've had the stage only rushed once before, and it was by a 7-year-old kid.
What?
And I was working. Did a show at this diner in North Toronto, and this kid was working the fucking line as a cook, and he forgot to put cheese on my burger before I went up. So it's just like, hey, yeah, you know, I don't know why you got your 7-year-old kid working here, but this feels like I'm doing a show in Bangladesh. And I was like, hey, your dumbass kid forgot to put cheese on my burger. Oh. And then the kid piped up and went, you're not my dad. Yeah, and then that got a huge reaction from the crowd. I waited for it to die down. I went, yeah, but I'm still fucking your mom. Oh. So the kid just rushed the stage at me, and then...
Wow.
I had to put him in a sleeper hold.
On that one. Old Jimmy Rogers got me into the diner.
That was back in my real grinding days where you do shows anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, diners, pizza places, libraries, board game place. I still do a show at a board game place here and there. It's fun. It stretches. Like I try, and then you try to, if I try to write some jokes for the board game crowd, and I wound up with I've
some
got
Catan jokes.
got what?
Oh yeah,
Me cheap.
Yeah,
broad appeal on the Catan jokes. Yeah. No, but I've got a joke about Clue and Guess Who now and stuff, and it forces you to sort of look outside your usual scope of material and come up with some fun stuff.
Some fucking nerdy, dorky stuff. Yeah. I gotta appeal to the nerd dork crowd demographic.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them out there.
Well, for sure. At Dickens, they do Gamer Sundays.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's all board games and
Dickens
stuff.
is one of my favorite places to drink in this town.
Fuck yeah.
Play some darts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went up at Ship and Anchor having a great time.
Yeah.
Right on, yeah.
Yeah, Ship and Anchor is fantastic.
Yeah,
and,
that's an always. You could go there on a Sunday at 2. and there's shit tons of people. Like, their location is so fucking perfect, and
Right.
that place is just a fucking gold bar making machine.
Right. Ugh.
Always
That-
has been too. It's just been that one bar that's like always holy fuck all the time. You go in there on Friday or Saturday night, it's annoyingly packed. Like, it's why
Yeah.
I don't go there anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go
'Cause I've been
Friday,
married
Saturday.
for so long.
Yeah.
It's
even
just like,
even like midnight on a Sunday, like you go
Fucking
in there,
right.
it's
like industry.
packed. Yeah,
It's all
Wow.
industry stuff
Okay.
that, you know, like,
right.
or whatever. Because there's bars and restaurants seem to flip here a lot in Calgary. I've heard that there's some, like, people come here to try them out to see if they'll survive, and then they apply them in other places.
Oh, wow. So they'll take like to Toronto after or something like that.
Yeah,
or-
totally. Like, if you can make it here in this, like, snobby, snooty, because it's weird how it's like, you know, like you say, Edmonton has more of this, like, blue collar thing going on.
Oof. Collars covered in blood and coke.
Fucking Calgary's more like where everybody takes their money to, and it's more
Yeah.
like, so there's all
goddamn
the
civilized.
gold digging chicks are here too. All
Oh,
the
right.
hot gold diggers are here, so they want to go out to a nice place. Fuck this place. Like, if you fuck up, you fuck. Because now you got $8 haircut, but she had a fucking $800 haircut.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Uh oh.
Barber must have had palsy.
Oh, fuck.
Or hairdresser, I guess. Ladies see hairdressers.
Cut my own.
Yeah, that's funny.
So-
We have men have barbers, women have hairdressers. It's like guys take their cars to the mechanics, girls take their cars to the car dressers.
Have you toured anywhere outside of Canada?
I just did
So
the
far?
Edinburgh Fringe Fest in Scotland one summer, and
fuck.
Cool.
When?
2012.
Oh, killer.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was a lot
That
of fun.
sounds like it's huge.
It's I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's not huge. It's not like you get selected and it's a big honor or anything. But it's huge in that I think there's literally.
Isn't it a month long?
It's a month long,
Yeah.
and there's something like 1,500 shows a day going on in Edinburgh.
Holy.
So you have something like, 280 venues, each doing 3-4 shows a piece.
That's
And
fucking
Wow.
yeah, and it's mostly spoken performance art or like comedic performance art. So you might have plays, one-man shows, stand-up comedy, maybe some musical comedy, but it's not like a music festival, But it was fun because it is an internationally respected and attended festival. So sometimes we'd be performing for a crowd that had Scots, Brits, Irishmen, Scandinavians, and Spaniards and Germans in the same crowd, and you have to somehow find the degree of commonality,
Right.
between those people and present.
So it's all fart jokes at that point.
Yeah, oh yeah. A German fart sounds like this. A Spanish fart sounds like this.
Even my like two-year-old daughter thinks fart jokes are funny.
Oh, it's
Like, it's the only joke she gets.
It's the universal joke. Yeah.
yeah,
And then you go, and she's
yeah, it works. And and I found that base level that
Yeah, that's wild,
and it was
definitely.
cool. And you know what? They all fucking seen BBC Planet Earth. So
Yes.
get
That's
a
not fair.
fucking
They're from there.
get a clue,
Right.
Edmonton.
They're from planet Earth. That's not fair.
But yeah, that was fun. You just got to go out and hustle every day and fly your own shows, and then you go do these compilation shows where there's like 4 or 5 comics on a show, each doing like shorter sets as a sort of showcase for your longer show, and then you flyer everyone coming out of that venue
Gotcha.
to come to your show, and
Hustle and
it's
flow.
every day. Yeah. So if you're not flyering or performing, you're wasting your time. And then you sort of take a break after 1 a.m. Then you drink till 5,
Right.
and then our show was at noon, so we'd wake up at 10,
Yeah.
and it was that for 30 days, and I
Whoa.
haven't recovered from that level of like alcohol binging since. So
3 years
You
later.
expected to stay out there for 30 days?
oh yeah, Edinburgh ruined my life.
Edinburgh clipped off the tip of my liver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Adios.
Wow.
That thing's. I got a beef jerky liver after Edinburgh. Man.
Yeah.
Did they put you up or no? Where did you stay?
We stayed with, get this. This woman was like the fucking most internationally, I don't know, she was like an amalgamation of every different part of the world. She was she was a Hong Kongese. What do you call someone from Hong Kong?
Chinese.
No.
It's a different country.
But it's,
No,
yeah, well,
but-
not
Or is it?
anymore.
But
No?
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Or
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was from Hong Kong.
A Hong Konger?
She's a Hong. She was a blonde Hong Konger from Bogota, Colombia,
Whoa.
with a Scottish accent.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, and she was like insanely smoking, and nice girl, really sweet girl though, and she was there with her boyfriend, and so myself and Brian O'Gorman split a fucking bed in their guest room,
Gangsta.
and it cost us like $1,500 Canadian each for the month.
It's like Fort
Wow.
McMurray.
Yeah.
$1,500
Well,
a month for a fucking couch.
With that going on every summer, I bet there's a lot of people who will put the comics up,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bed and breakfast for the month sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a huge industry, sort of, and
Yeah.
like they actually people pay their rent for the year putting people up that month
Wow.
in Edinburgh.
Oh,
That's cool.
fuck.
Yeah, but it's great. You know, we just had keys to the place. You had the run of the place. You
But
could
that's
cook,
kind
do
of why you
whatever.
have to be out there for 30 days too, right? So that you're like making that money every day.
Yeah, and
Yeah. So were they paying you for all these sets every day?
we were doing the free fringe, so you just pass a bucket at the end of every show. And
Oh, fuck,
some days you
okay.
make out better than others. Basically, our show did fine. You know, some days we had 25 people in a small room,
Yeah.
and some days the lowest we performed for was 2, and we still did the show. And then,
Yeah.
and you know what? It was great, and it was far from
Well,
the worst
you know,
show I've ever had. I performed for 100 fucking seed farmers in London, Ontario, who just hated my city queer jeans and my city queer haircut and didn't laugh at a thing that I said.
Oh.
And
the pin drop.
yeah,
But I just wanted to say we were just down in LA and bucket list for me was Comedy Store. And
Oh, cool.
We went there on a Sunday, and fuck, at the end there was 2 fucking people there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like when
Yeah.
we walked out, I felt bad because we were trying to hold on, man.
yeah.
There
and
was
it was like
a-
1:30.
There was a lot of comics, and
they
they started at 9. And
fuck, and I can't remember. It was a bigger name. Like that guy went up in front of.
the guy at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
But
mean, I'm
it's
you know
like after
mid-level.
every
like
comic
Bobby
was
Lee
done.
that night. Bobby Lee and Stephen Brody Stevens.
Bobby Lee's amazing.
That
Oh,
was
yeah, he
so
like-
cool to
he
see
was on
him.
at like 9:45 though. That's what
Yeah.
was
Nice.
weird.
I opened
There was tons
for,
of people there then.
It was like
there were, but not as many as you'd think. Like there was fucking maybe I don't know 40.
wasn't it
50?
wasn't a huge room. That's what surprised me.
Yes, because there's
Yeah.
I think they have 3 different rooms. They have we were in the main room.
The original room.
No, we were in the original room.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then there's a main room,
Yeah.
and then there's the belly room, which
Yeah.
is a smaller one than that upstairs.
apparently people
Yeah.
are fucking in the belly room now, and they put up cameras to make it stop. And they've been calling people out.
Gangster, good.
Yeah.
They're really possessive about their parking lot. I noticed that. They didn't even want me smoking out there.
Oh,
they're like,
gee.
they're like, come up here by the door. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
This is definitely
Yeah.
not Canada.
On the other place we went
So,
was
yeah, I just wanted to say what, like, fuck, we saw that in L.A. Like,
Yeah.
on a fucking, you'd figure. And then we tried to order pizza that fucking night, and we couldn't get a fucking pizza. It was like, what the hell? This is Hollywood. What
There's
the
no
fuck is
no
going
late
on?
night food in California. It was,
Come on.
man.
I swear to God, I called 2 dozen fucking places, and they were like, no, you don't deliver it this time.
Oh, you have to eat at what 7-Eleven or some awful thing.
They close
We
at
used to-
11.
Oh my God!
yeah.
Seriously.
They abide by that shit by the name.
That was really weird to me.
That is weird.
Hollywood. It fucking,
Yeah.
Hey, we got it good here,
But it
man.
was fun,
We got
yeah.
it good.
Yeah,
We
we do.
do.
No, Canada rips.
We
It's
also
expensive, but it's good.
went to the Hollywood Improv, another iconic room. That was
Yeah,
very cool.
Rouse's CD release was at the Improv. The
Oh,
Hollywood
great.
Improv. Yeah, which was a really nice room. That holds like 100, 125 or something like that.
That's quaint. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I mean,
fun.
I don't know. I didn't really see that back area. I guess if you had to slam 200 in there, you might be able to. But
It seems
pretty-
smaller than that.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool stage though, and cool. Darren Rose from
Yeah, my buddy.
Match Game.
Yeah.
The host of Match Game.
Great dude.
He performed there, and it was really interesting to see that because they don't know what the fuck Match Game is in the U.S. Like that show's not in the U.S.
That's a daunting thing about moving out to Los Angeles. I feel is like, even if you've got your own, even if you have like you're on 3 Canadian TV shows and you move there, it's really starting over, and to what end, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and the competition, man, like holy fuck, like he was just like, that's kind of my point, is that he's up there doing his thing just like you would have been or anybody else would have been, right? Like it's not because he's doing well up here, it doesn't really mean dick in Hollywood. And
right.
It was funny to see that.
That is funny. Yeah, Darren's
he asked Nancy if we were dating, and I was like, nope. I just fucking shot him out of the sky. I think he's like,
just buds.
I told him, I was like, sorry, man, I didn't do that if it was true.
During his set?
Yeah.
Right.
He looked right at us. You two dating? Nope. Okay, over here. Like it was just kind of threw him off.
Darren's one of the sweetest dudes in the world, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, it was fucking,
yeah.
he was killer. We were hanging out after. We took an Uber
Yeah, we
to the
shared an
after
Uber.
party.
Oh, cool.
And I was fucking hammered, and he was probably getting fed up with my bullshit. Like it was just like, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm in an Uber with Darren from Match Game. Am I on some fucking game show right now? Fuck,
Yeah, I was wishing it was Cash Cab. That'd be fun. I hope that happens when we come to Toronto in June.
So speaking of that, you were on like TV and whatnot.
Yeah,
you have
TV.
some TV experience.
I got a bit of TV in the old belt.
You got being there in Toronto.
Yep.
That's how you have to say it out here, eh? Toronto.
I'd just say Tio.
That's our accent, okay? But you were on Video on Trial, right?
Yeah, I did that show for what, I guess, 5 seasons?
5 seasons, fuck.
40 episodes, and it was a lot of fun. I look, the show had an awful reputation because, quite frankly, it was terrible. But I loved doing it. And I fucking backed up my contributions to the fullest because I worked hard on that shit. And I sort of I grew up with 4 sisters and just taking the piss out of everything we saw on TV. Like we were kind of a catty bunch, and it sort of came naturally to me. And when I watched the show before I was on it, I was like, what are you guys doing? You're not seizing your opportunity to write jokes here. You're just flapping your gums, saying nothing. And it's basically just an exercise in customized writing, the same way you would write a roast for somebody, or the same way that you would write jokes about the news for a late show. So I really enjoyed it. I liked maximizing the space in the studio and sort of bringing in props and stuff and getting them to put different stuff behind me on the green screen. And
cool.
It was a lot of fun. And it's it's like 2.5 years that the show's been off the air and stuff. But
did you do it right till the end?
Yeah, and I did right till the end. And then they brought Video on Trial back as a new and improved version that they'd only did 4 episodes, and they tried doing sketches about the videos, and it was
like 12-year-olds on it.
Well, they tried to bring in a young, fresh crew, but they brought in a bunch of 40-year-olds. And quite frankly,
Rouse is on there. With Ed the Sock.
But because of the new Video on Trial, I'm actually able to say I was on the good Video on Trial, which is something I never thought I'd be able to say. But it was, I really had fun doing that, and
so
because I hated.
Okay, sorry.
I just hated 95% of the videos that they show. Like once in a while, they'd sneak in an Aussie video, or you'd find some crazy niche video by some band like Yay Sayer or something like that, and that shit was really cool, and it kind of exposed me to certain. Even like some cool Taiga tracks and some hip hop that I actually wound up liking, but for the most part, it was easy to. I didn't have to manufacture this hate.
Yeah,
and it was
kind of writing. It's starting to write itself anyway.
Yeah, and it was an excuse to spew vitriol, which I'm looking for every day.
Yeah, we want you to.
It's a good outlet. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. It helped my career a bit. I guess maybe it gave me a bit of shine for a little bit, and made some bookers take me a bit more seriously. And
cool.
But now that it's done, I'm back in the mix. The rest of the sinners,
Yeah, no, for sure. So I always wondered in the comedy world, like, how does that work? Do you have an agent that books you exclusively, or do you rely, or no, I shouldn't say rely. Do you work with a series of bookers, or how does that work in that whole game?
Well, I work for Yuck Yuck, so they're my club bookers and my festival bookers and my corporate and one-nighter bookers, and they have different bookers for all those sections.
Interesting.
And but then, like, I had an acting agent for a little bit, but an
acting agent.
Yeah, but I told her I wasn't going to do any commercials, so I was a little used to her, and so now I'm trying to find. Well, now I have a voice agent, and they've been really good for me because of my French. I get a lot of like French voiceover work.
Oh, fuck.
And that's lucrative. And it's silly money. And
yeah, because that's a really funny thing that I didn't really realize until I did this whole record with Rouse there, is that like comedians are considered like comedic writers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a totally different... So you can be writing a whole bunch of stuff. Like you're a writer. You're like a writer but
yeah,
I mean...
There's different classes of comedian, the same way you would have different classes in like
metal.
Yeah.
Or any
or video game, like elves, mages, fucking dwarfs.
Yeah, totally,
yeah. They have different qualities and stuff. But and that's why I think it's difficult to represent a comedian as
right.
Agent. On the representation side, because someone might not want to do commercials, but they might want to do voice work for commercials, and they might not want to write anything, but they want to do festivals,
right.
So you can be, so it's hard to find someone to represent you like that, and that's what I'm the agents I'm courting now are people who will represent me for my comedic writing, my script writing, my screenplay writing, and my like live hosting. Maybe my voice work, and then also comedic festivals and just more comedy shows in areas that Yuck Yucks doesn't represent me in.
Right. Interesting.
So yeah, it's a bit all over the place.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you gotta constantly be working. It seems, and like finding new ways to get different kinds of work within your field.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
the same way.
opportunists.
It's like, I play bass in my band, but I mean, fuck, I work doing live sound, I do studio work, fuck whatever, right?
Yeah, you got to take all the work that you can handle.
I fucking load gear for a corporate band.
Right. Yeah.
If I was whiny about it, like, I never do that. Like fuck that. I need the money. And this corporate band that plays the worst music in the world that I hate. I mean, I don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to me. I love it.
They're
the ones making the big money.
Yeah.
Fuck, they can pay me that much. I don't give a fuck.
I don't like SpaghettiOs, but I'll fucking scream about them into a microphone as long as I don't have to show my face on screen,
Yeah.
I'll do the voiceover. I'll say SpaghettiO all day as long as you can't track it back to Hunter Collins.
Do you have various pen names then?
Nah, I'm Hunter Collins all over the place.
Oh, okay.
But I've been telling the people in the voiceover industry to just call me One Take.
Nice.
Zynga.
But yeah, you got to be an opportunist, like even if you're like a hyena, and like if you were coming across carrion every day, you grow to be a fat, well-fed, dangerous fucking hyena, and I feel it's like that when you're a contractor, the more you can scavenge, the more you can scrounge up for yourself and hunt down even.
Yeah, totally.
The more well prepared you are to beat the competition.
Yes, absolutely. And it sounds like all these fucking art worlds, man. They're so competitive. It's fucked. Like with the internet and everything,
There's people who never sleep, never stop.
Yeah, and they have SEOs. All these fucking weird internet, like they've hired people on the internet to promote them. They give Facebook $1,500 a month or whatever.
Yep.
It's cool. Well, good for you, man. That's killer.
Yeah, to be able to make a living doing what you love to do is amazing.
I count my blessings, and a lot of people get jaded and bitter. They're like, okay. I'm playing Hamilton this weekend, and that's it. And I'm like, do you know how many people are clamoring for that job?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for all the work I get.
Yeah, for sure. As am I.
Yeah, it's a dream to be able to go up on stage and screamo about what you found in your girlfriend's asshole last weekend is a goddamn blessing.
Fuck. I hate it when that happens.
Should we play a track off your album?
Yeah, sure. Love it.
All right, cool. Canadian, is it?
Canadian.
Nice.
Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian.
Yeah, there's a link.
Canadian.
There's a link to it in the description here on iTunes, so you can check it out, buy it.
Which
And it's not like an album that's only funny to bilingual people or like you have to be able to speak French to get it. It's kind of designed for English people who've just experienced the French language, or French people who understand English. You know, it's not an exclusive album.
yeah, you're not doing some Lac Saguenay fucking super thick
Nah.
jokes.
Nah, it's everyone likes this album.
Cool. Cheers. We'll be right back.
But I can't let the monolingual Canadians off the hook completely either, man. Sometimes I hear you guys try to garble out some French with your government-imposed mandatory minimum grade 9 high school French. What a disgrace to linguistics that shit is. Je suis tout un ananas. Fuck you, man. I always bust out ananas on you. Got a whole generation of Canadians who learn to speak French from a rubber fucking pineapple. I was driving into Quebec with a buddy of mine who's from rural Ontario, and he can't speak French at all. And he's got this strange compulsion that I'm actually finding is more common than I'd previously thought, whereby he tries to pronounce all the French names on the highway exit signs that we drive by with his gross accent. It's awful. He's like, oh, look at that one. Harfangs de Snetches. It's like, that's Harfang des Neiges, buddy. Pass another one's like, oh, look at that one. Rui Repentigny. Like, that's Rui Repentigny, homie. The worst one he did, there was like, oh, look at that sign. IU go. I was like, man, those are the numbers 160s, the fucking speed limits. It's not French, it's numbers. What really aggravated me growing up as an Anglo going to French school, like I went to French school my whole life, was sometimes like last period of the day, the teacher would just want to like phone it in. They just make you watch a movie, and they just get some dubbed American movie, right? Dubbed in French. That's the worst, right? You guys have all seen the bad dubs. Like I was at my folks' place for Christmas, turned on the TV, saw on the channel grid one of my favorite movies was on, Terminator. Clicked on it, immediately realized I just tuned into Le Terminator. And you know that's gonna suck, right? And that's the weird thing. Like, you watch these cool, like, Schwarzenegger movies, whichever one it is. You know, these movies like Running Man, where he busts out these huge lines like, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. You would hope that in French, the guy they hired to do the dub over would at least sort of sound like, eh bien, j'espère que tu laisses assez d'espace pour mon père parce que je vais lui faire écraser ton estomac et casser la colonne vertébrale. But it's never like that, is it? Instead, I'm sitting there watching Le Terminator. I'm waiting for that iconic scene where he goes up to the counter and says, I'll be back. Instead, he's like, je serai de retour. What the fuck is this? They just hired some dork Parisian to be a badass cyborg.
What a funny bit.
We're back. That was funny. So, Canadian, or however you want to say
Yeah,
it.
Canadian. There's an accent aigu on the letter E.
Where'd you do it? How'd you do it? Who'd you do it with?
I recorded it at Yuck Yucks in Montreal, my hometown, and I thought that would be a good place to do it because there's a couple Montreal-centric bits on it, but and I got my buddy from high school, James Cassette, who runs one of the most successful music stores in Montreal, Jimmy's Music. To come to come and record it. You know Jimmy?
His name is Cassette?
Yeah.
And he has a music store?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is funny. I never thought about that. Yeah, so James came by and set up the overheads to get the crowd and just patched into the soundboard there and recorded it. We recorded it on over 2 nights. And I also recorded like a non-bilingual album through that I'm just sitting on right now. And
So, just English?
yeah,
Is
it's
it French?
just like my non-language related material.
Oh, fair enough.
And yeah, we
So you
released
got
it.
one in the kitty.
Yeah, ready to rock.
Fuck yeah, man.
And so we released it through Comedy Records, which is the big comedy label out of Canada, and they're starting to branch out and release American albums as well. So
Wow.
it's really promising for everyone under the label because it's going to sort of foster some sort of international performances. I think like we're going to get to perform with some of their guys south of the border, and they can perform with us up here, and all with visas and all the necessary paperwork and stuff. So that's really exciting. And but I wanted to get this bilingual material out there because Sugar Sammy is a comedian out of Quebec who's like a
Oh, he's
millionaire.
out of Quebec?
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
he's a millionaire now out of just doing bilingual comedy.
Yeah, but
And-
dude, he gets to go to India, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah, I think he
See?
does comedy in 4 languages.
Yeah, if you're going to fucking India and Saudi Arabia and shit, if you can go do that
Saudi
shit
Arabia,
over there,
yeah.
fuck.
I don't know
You'll
if
be
the
a
India's
millionaire.
gigs are making him all the money.
Fucking right. There's 1 billion people there, man.
Yeah, fair
You know
enough.
what I'm saying?
Billion times 1 rupee? That's 1 billion rupees.
You can average
$10.
that.
Yeah, man, you can get a bottle of Grey Goose with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to get that out there. I want to just get on this bilingual train and sort of court the
Cool.
festivals with this material because I think it's no one else is doing this stuff, and as far as Canada's concerned,
Yeah.
I think I've
So you've never had a Comedy Now special then, have you?
nah, I missed the boat on that. They canceled
How
it
did
before
you
I got good.
Oh, they canceled them?
Well, they canceled the show before I got good. Yeah. So anything that you see now
I'm
was
not paying
cut like
attention.
it's like 2011 that stopped
Well,
being.
2011 was when it
I
ended?
hope you get on Just for Laughs festival.
Thanks, Nancy.
Yes.
I bloody
Oh,
hope
that'd be-
so.
that'd be
Cheers.
crazy.
I'm harassing those mofos.
When I met Bobby Lee, he was telling me he was pissed off that he hasn't been invited to Just for Laughs.
Yeah, and Bobby's the best, man.
Fuck, he is. He was really cool, and he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I opened for Bobby in Toronto, and he took us out for Korean grill after. And he was like, I don't want this to be... I hope this isn't too stereotypical or anything. A Korean guy bringing us out for Korean food, but he was super cool and just like
Good food
shared
is
all
good
kinds of
food.
insight. And yeah, super funny. Sometimes celebrity comedians, you're a bit weary. Like you see Screech coming to do comedy in your town or something like that, and you're like...
And then he got stabbed in the liver, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
what the fuck?
But guys like Bobby Lee, Tom Green, they know their ass from their elbow. They're really funny.
Yeah, totally. I found Bobby Lee was the kind of that way with me,
Oh, yeah?
where he was like, I mean, I'm huge and he's not. So
Yeah.
he was just like, yeah, man, like, really good to see you. Yeah, I got to go now. Like,
You're scared of you?
yeah, well, kind of. I'm not comfortable. Let's put it that way. Like, what kind of fucking weirdo Viking is this fucking guy? That's gonna. And I'm just like, hey, man, it's cool. It's cool. Like, like,
You are
they'll
a big
invite
man.
you one day, man. They'll invite you one day.
You're a big man, but you're affable.
That's what I thought.
You're approachable.
I think at first people are just scared of me. I see it all the time, especially people of the Asian persuasion. That's just
Really?
Yeah, the Asian.
Some
ladies,
people just get
they see
persuaded
me and
into
they get-
becoming Asian. It's weird.
they-
You should
they,
be Asian. No, you should. Okay. Miso sawi.
They like there'll be a time like I open a door and there's a shorter Asian lady there and she'll look at me like like terrified, like just by me standing there existing. So
Well, heavy metal isn't big in, a lot of Asian cultures. I grew up around like
know.
giant metal dudes. I know in Japan it's huge. They go out in droves to see these shows, but just an old Chinese lady isn't going to see a guy in a fucking Cryptopsy t-shirt and be like, friendly.
I know I'm a jerk. I have some friends over there touring right now. They did Japan and they're in China right now, which is just
Wow.
blowing my
Yeah.
mind. I have some. I can't recall because it's my buddy Trevor who's in a new band now. I can't recall their name, but then my buddies in the Order of Chaos. They've been touring all around Europe during all this shit, like all this.
Oh, wow,
Paris
yeah.
bullshit. And fuck, man, their shows are going off. And
Great.
I want to like it. It's definitely at least their third tour over there, so it's really cool to see that it's coming together for them. So I
Hey.
just kind of wanted to congratulate them over the podcast.
Hey, good for Order of
Yes,
Chaos. That's
yeah,
awesome.
They're excellent.
Yeah, the Order of Chaos fucking rules, and they deserve it. They work really hard, and they fucking they go out there and they do it. So, just like, you're saying you go to Edinburgh and fucking play for 30 days. Fuck, that's crazy, right? You got to go out there and pound it out. To fucking...
Hey, that's how you get hard.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you get hard as fuck.
But we were talking about those geeks that are calling the Eagles of Death Metal shootings and explosions like a death metal, like a metal show.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's embarrassing.
Isn't ignorance part of the problem?
Yeah. What did you call them? Dad rock? That's no.
They always try
just a rock band.
They just blame everything on fucking heavy metal all the time.
As soon as
Columbine,
they
heavy metal, fucking
yeah.
every Canadian school shooting is in the States too.
That Bowling for Columbine, actually, when they had Marilyn Manson on there, that gave me so much respect for Marilyn Manson. It was fucked. Like, he's not a fucking dummy, that guy.
No. Manson's legit.
Love or hate him, but he's in a fucking mansion right now, and we ain't.
But he's not like a sellout, Like, sure, he did like shitty operatic emo music.
Did you hear that he got punched out in Medicine Hat?
No.
At a Denny's.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he allegedly. And
I want moon over my hammy. Smack. Order it like an American, damn it.
Oh, apparently he was hitting on some guy's girlfriend. And at like 3 a.m. After their show there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why the fuck? They were probably traveling or something. They would have to be.
What
I don't
Marilyn
know.
Manson didn't play in fucking Lethbridge, did he?
Medicine Hat's big enough to have a
Lethbridge.
Denny's?
Yeah, he did.
He did play in Lethbridge.
Yeah,
didn't
that's
he?
where it was.
Fuck, so they
Manson and Lethbridge.
Yeah.
See, that's fucked up. Because, like, on this last tour, it was really scaled down and weird, and everybody's whining he's fat and stuff.
I saw Slayer open for Manson in 2007, and I was like, bad call on the order on that one, because we were like ripped on shrooms, and like we had like it was an outdoor show, so the mosh pit was on like a hill, so you're getting punched in the face down a hill every couple of seconds. And then Slayer's done, fucking God Hates Us All, it's cataclysmic. And then Manson comes on, and he's like, oh, I took a bath with bubbles. And we're all like bobbing our heads, like trying to enjoy it, like Terry and Fubar when he's just hanging out with that chick. We're like, it was awful. He played just pure new tripe, none of the old chuggy cool shit that had a chance in hell of stacking up to the Slayer set.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, really quick, before we wrap her up here, you played in bands previously to getting into comedy.
Yeah, man.
Was that like a high school thing, or?
It was out after comedy school. I met a guy there named Craig, and we had a band called Preposterous.
Right.
And we were a two-man metal band. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of theatrics.
Cool.
And he was guitar and singer. And I guess, like, he kind of sounded like Dave Mustaine, but he would never admit it. He just didn't like the comparison. But we were
Metallica
playing.
fan, huh?
You liked Coheed and Cambria and shit like that. And
Oh, weird.
I was trying to do like agnostic front beats and shit. Like I was new agnostic front too. I know that's blasphemous, but anyhow, we had a real fun show. It was a lot of fun, and like we had one character called Puking Chicago Bulls Werewolf, who we would hang up behind the drum kit once in a while, and he was just a Chicago Bulls starter jacket with a rubber werewolf mask and a shower head coming out of his mouth. So we would just like have a guy backstage doing the voice for Chicago Bulls Werewolf, and we'd be like, hey, Chicago Bulls Werewolf, I went down the old folks home and sucked a bunch of guys' bed sores dry. And then Chicago Bulls Werewolf on the mic would just go, ooh. And I was like, yeah. And then I went to the set of The View and let Rosie O'Donnell pop her back knee into my mouth. And then he'd be like, oh. Then he'd be like, yeah. And then I listened to the new 3 Days Grace album. I'd stomp on this bottle full of tomato juice, and so it came out the shower head and it looked like he was puking blood all over my back. And I'd gave birth to babies behind the drum kit.
Wow,
and
so it was like kind of like a two-piece gore.
yeah, two-piece ghetto
comedy.
bullshit budget gore.
Yeah.
But the music fucking rocked, and it was it was metal people could dance to, and it was
Oh, cool.
it was somehow, I mean,
So it was metal
palatable.
too. Like it was heavy.
Yeah, fucking right. I was double kicking my ass
Fucking right, dude.
to hell.
Yeah.
And we filled what we didn't have from a bassist. We made up for with that double kick and some pedal effects and stuff. And it was kind of a cool novelty to have the 2-man thing going on. And
Yeah.
it was a great time. I never got laid more than when I was a drummer.
Right. Interesting.
But girls started
Did you
like,
open for anybody notable or anything? I mean, sorry.
who did we did the FU awards one time and played with I don't even remember. They're just like Toronto punk guys. I can't even remember their names anymore. Like the Distorters or some bull. Anyways, it's funny that I can't even remember. But we opened for cool guys that I grew up listening to, like Grimmskunk in Montreal.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And
I've mixed them a couple times. And I grew up listening to that too. That shit.
no shit. That's funny.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, but no, we produced our own shows mostly, and we played a lot with USS,
I don't know.
who were like pop guys now, but we had a bunch of bands who were a bunch of idiots, and we were more united by the fact that we were all idiots than we played the same music. So United Synergy Seeker, they're on like they're a radio band, but they're actually really fucking cool guys, and the DJ Human Kebab was especially cool to us, and we'd do each other's Ultimate Warrior face paint before our shows and stuff, and
cool.
they're doing great. And, but we played a lot with them, and
Well, it was always funny on those like Pantera videos when you'd see them hanging out with Chad Kroeger, and you're like, "What the fuck?
right.
How does that work?" You know, this guy's singing about a photograph, and it's like,
Even seeing them with
Put the
Skid
lotion on the
Row
mask,
was
yeah.
funny, It was kind of
Yeah.
a disconnect.
yeah, no, totally. That's fucking awesome, man. Well, we're just over an hour here, hour 5 or something. So I think we'll wrap her up. Let everybody know where they can get the record. What's the record called? Where can they get it?
The record is called Canadian, QUE Nadian, and I've got another album called Nincompoop, but it's a sketch comedy album. But if you just search Hunter Collins on iTunes, I hope the only guy who comes up. The only guy challenging my web optimization is like this fucking vanity roller skater, not rollerblader, roller skater. He does like roller skate solo dance.
Whoa.
And there used to be a wrestler at...
Can you do the splits?
He can do it all. He's amazing. I mean, every Hunter Collins out there is very talented. There's a Greco-Roman wrestler at Michigan U he started like doing shit once he got like 3rd, 4th year. So I've got the web optimization back. But yeah, you can find my stuff on iTunes. Find me on Twitter, Hunter_Collins. My website's Hunter Comedy, and my Instagram is Hunter Comedy as well. And yeah, always love getting the new followers. A follow back, and
Yeah.
And I'll give you a giggle,
go
man.
stab him in Edmonton, everybody. What's the date of that?
I'll be there.
Let me
What's
know
Friday?
precisely when and where.
November 27th. I will be in Edmonton, and the 28th I will be in Drumheller playing at the arena, I guess, for a soccer fundraiser.
Wow.
Gonna have to hold back on the felching jokes there.
Yeah.
Pull out the soccer mom jokes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the French jokes.
You ever felch a soccer mom in French?
No.
It just offends all. The mayor just turns the power off.
That's it. Send him to the Stegosaurus prison.
Actually, that's the other thing Drumheller is known for, is there's a huge fucking penitentiary.
Oh,
out there.
It's just shaped like a giant brachiosaurus. Drumheller. God, I can't wait to see these dilapidated dino statues.
Fucking A. Well, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure,
Safe
Nancy.
travels.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome.
Best of luck. And thanks for being on, Nancy.
You guys are the best. Get
My
so
pleasure.
hard.
Get fucking hard.
Getting
Thanks
hard.
for getting hard in Nate's backyard.
I got a blue veiner.
Fucking A. And thank you all for listening. Cheers.
Get the fuck off of my butt!